moment. I apologize for not coming on at 10 a.m. Uh, I was actually up all night long. I didn't go to sleep till like 6 in the morning. And not from partying, I wish, but no, I was just really struggling. So with some health, I don't know, not health stuff exactly, just discomfort and like inability to sleep, I think. So, um, yeah. Anyway, I'm here. I'm up. I'm doing my thing. mm. So, I think what I'm going to start doing, though, just to let you guys know, is I'm going to give myself more flexibility on the weekends as far as what time I go live. So, like, I'll try to do like 10 a.m. most of the time, but I think I need a little more flexibility on the weekends so that if, I need to catch up on rest or if I had a rough night or a rough day or something like that, then I can rest up and come on live a little later on the weekends. So that's kind of my thought. Also, being in you know, having someone else in my life right now, being in a relationship, it's nice to be able to have more flexibility on the weekends as far as what we do. So I think I'm going to try that out for a little while because, like I said, I promised I was going to go live every day, and I have been keeping that promise. So there's a lot of lives. But I also need to make sure that I can take care of myself and have that flexibility to do that when I need to as well. So, anyway, one of the things I thought I'd talk a little bit about. Hey, Pilar, Henrique. Henrique. Sometimes it's hard to pick out people's names, like in the, when they have their name is all one long thing. You're like, which part of that can I pronounce? um, yeah, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about what to do when triggers come up. What happens when I get triggered or when you get triggered? What can you do when these things come up and how do we handle them? Very often, when triggers come up, at least for me, one of the things that can feel very easy or natural to do is to run away, to avoid, to create distance, to distract myself, right? And but what would be some other ways that we might be able to handle that when triggers come up? When triggers come up, whether it's oftentimes triggers can come up in a relationship because that's when we're forced to face things that we might not otherwise look at, we might not otherwise face, because we can create our world sometimes to not really have to deal with things that are triggering for ourselves until someone else brings it into our space and we're like, oh crap. I know I needed to deal with that. Now it's here. So hey Patty. Yeah, so that's one of the things I was thinking about. What do we do when triggers come into our space and how do we handle them? Um, for me, I had some things come up that were triggering me recently. And, they had to do with religion and belief systems because of my background and my experiences with that and having those things so twisted that it's something I tend to avoid. I tend to try to look around that or beyond that. But then if you are with someone who does have strong beliefs in certain ways, then it comes up where, you're like, okay, well, now I need to look at this. I need to deal with this thing that's triggering me. And I need to ask myself, how much of this is reality? How much of this is um, the past, right? Past, I don't say assumptions. Basically, when something is like association, that's the word I'm looking for. How much of this is coming from a past association? Hey, Gabriela. And how much of this is uh, in the reality right now, right? And how can I know or understand that? So when this like triggering stuff started to come up for me, I had to say, I went and I talked to God. I prayed about it, even though it's interesting. I'm not religious in the sense of any particular type of religious book, but I do feel that we can talk to our Creator and we can be in connection with our Creator, and you know, understanding that, okay, well, you have the tools, right? I have the tools to understand, and to check and to double check, right? And that one of those tools is called matching. And I shared with you about that tool. It's a logic tool that you can use to discover if something is true or not. And when we have tools, a method, a process to understand if something is true, we never have to be stuck. And we can go and we can say, okay, let me assess this. Let me look at this. Does it match? Is it true? And so for me, that was good because it gave me kind of a path, I guess, or a way to say, all right, how am I going to move through this challenge, right? Move through this trigger, and to say, can I go and really go back and look at these uh, things that I find triggering, in sort of religions and religious writings and so on, and reconcile, uh, reconcile and say, is it true or is it not, right? And not be afraid to do that, and not avoid it just because it's uncomfortable for me to go back there because of the associations that I have with it, and because of all of the lies and the manipulation and the twisting that I experienced around that. So anyway, um, I think when stuff comes up, I guess instead of running away, it's important to sit with it and uh, to address it, address it in the moment, and say, okay, what's really going on here, and is there a path forward for me to address this so that it doesn't continue to trigger me? Because when things come up into our space to trigger us, it's a great signal. It's a great signal that now is the time to deal with it. And that is really cool, right? Because, maybe it wasn't the time to deal with it before and we were able to go on and we had other things we had to deal with, but now is the time to deal with it. And so that is, it's a good, when it comes into our space like that, then we know, right? We're like, oh, okay, this is the time. Now it's time to deal with it. It's popped up. So anyway, yeah, I apologize. I'm a little tired today because I didn't get much sleep last night, but I hope you guys have a beautiful Sunday. Gabrielle says, I love your work. Very dedicated. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. um, so I hope you guys go out there and have an amazing, amazing Sunday. You too. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, GBL. Say Gabriel, but thank you for the hearts, and you have a wonderful Sunday. Okay.